Hello and welcome back to our combined randomizer. So we're doing random randoms here. If you haven't watched the previous videos, you should probably catch up, but we are combining two different randomizers, one being a perfection randomizer having been made by Argonne Matrix, and the other being a roll for initiative randomizer. And so the perfection randomizer takes a given goal towards perfection in Stardew Valley, and you randomly generate, you can see that on sort of the bottom middle here, you randomly generate a goal and you cannot do any of the other 481 things that serve as goals until you have completed your current goal. And that doesn't seem so bad, right? Okay, don't catch any fish other than a tiger trout, except for the fact that that means I can't raise my fishing level. You can only catch tiger trout in fall. It is currently spring. I can't craft anything, and that includes a chest to put anything in. So there are a lot of challenges that get in the way there. I'm doing the standard version, so that I do have some things I'm allowed to do, like gain levels in skills. Argonne Matrix is currently working through a perfection randomizer on hardcore mode, not allowed to gain any skills. And if you really want to see this challenge in action, that's the place to go. But also then combining the Roll for Initiative challenge that was created by Wickedy, who combined Dungeons and Dragons with Stardew Valley, where we let the spirits guide how much we're allowed to do and what we're allowed to do. And the best way to demonstrate the Roll for Initiatives challenge is to actually just kind of walk through it. So here we are starting a day in Stardew Valley. And so the first thing we're going to do every day is we will check the DV and we will check the fortune teller. This is how we will know what the spirits want for us. And today, the spirits are very happy. They have chosen love and to shower everyone with good fortune. So what does that mean? What that means is we can come over it. That means that we're going to roll 2 dice, and we're rolling with advantage. Star drop luck is the best luck you can get. This was wonderful. We got a nat 20. Not really. We can get a 20, and we'll see what that allows us to do. But functionally speaking, we got a nat 20. We got the best luck we could possibly get. So we are going to roll 2d6, and we're going to use those. We're going to take the higher of the 2 numbers. That's what it means to roll with advantage. You roll 2, you take the higher. So we're going to roll 2d6, and we're going to take... Oh, I thought that was going to come up as a 3. Oh my goodness. So we're going to take the 6. If, on the other hand, we rolled with disadvantage, we'd have had to take the 1. Now, because it is star drop luck, we also have a +1 modifier. Star drop is the bestest luck. So not only do we take the 6, but we get to add 1. So we actually have 7 total actions today. That is the most actions that we can have at this point in the game. There are bonus die that are available that we're not to the point of yet. So we'll talk about the bonus die when we start getting closer to actually achieving those goals. You can also check down in the description for links to both Wickedy's YouTube page and Argonne Matrix's YouTube page, as well as the instructions for both of the challenges that we are combining here. So now what we want to do is we have to roll our 7d20. I'm going to apologize right now. I haven't quite perfected this dice roller to make it super duper clear what the numbers are. And also, when we are early in the challenge, there is a lot of re-rolling to be done. So for example, in the upper right hand corner, so right here, we appear to have a 3, unless chat wants to contradict me. That looks like a 3 to me. And we can't do that. We cannot pet or feed our animals. Even if it's not a 3, even if it's that 17, we can't break geodes either, so we're going to have to re-roll that. Coming down here, I think this is a 16, which is donating. We can't do that. We come over here to a 10. We can do that. That is foraging. This looks like a 6, and that's logging, and we can do that. We've got another 6 over here. I'm going to leave it to the chat. Is this a 1 or a 19? And even if this is a 14 or a 6, we can't do either of these. We can't craft any items until the perfection randomizer tells us to do. to do so. So if we were to get a 14, we would have to process an item, that is, put an item into some sort of processor, put it into a furnace or a preserves jar, and we don't have any of those processors yet. And so our chat, we've got the tank in the chat, and the ruling is that that is a 1. That's wonderful. That means we're going to be able to check our mail today, but we only got 3 successful actions: mail, logging, and foraging. So that means we have to re-roll 4 die. So let's get in and start doing our re-rolls. There are going to be a good number of re-rolls as we do this. We've got 19, which is gifting. We can do that. We have to be careful with gifting, though, because one of the rules of the perfection randomizer is that we cannot end a day with a heart with anyone unless our goal is to have hearts with them. So we got to be careful when we are gifting with individuals. And then we've got gifting successfully, and then we have to re-roll the rest. So we have 3 more to re-roll. Let me know if that doesn't seem right to you in chat, because oh no, there's an 8, the 668. So I'm going to take chat's word for it because I just made it disappear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 so far. We need to roll 2 more. We need to successfully get 2 more actions. That looks like a 7. We're going to call it a 7 so that we can do trash check. And then over here, it looks like an 11. Unfortunately, an 11 is to harvest or collect, and we do not have anything to harvest or collect. So let me know if you don't think that was a 7, but otherwise I'm going to call it a 7, and I'm just going to re-roll this last die. As you go through, so for those of you who are looking at this saying, why would I do this? We're just re-rolling over and over again. I promise it stops. So there we've got a 15. What day is it? Today is day 4. Is today the day? I'm actually going to check. So typically, I'm doing this for the sake of streaming. Typically, you only take what you have available to you at the very beginning of the day when you wake up. But if you know that something is going to happen that day, you can choose to take an action. So, for example, I know Willie's there, but what I don't know is, I was hoping that we were going to get a letter from Jojo Mart saying that the mine was open so we could do proper combat, which is what 15 is. 15 is proper combat. So we do have to, and I'm going to restart the day just so that I didn't just flash through those mail and you can see them too. So I am going to re-roll that die. We've already got an 8. Come on, we've already got an 8. Okay, hold on. The physics are having trouble. My D20 emitter is having some trouble. Let's mess with it a little bit. There we go. It was getting stuck in the corner. Okay, what is that? I think it's a set. Oh, if it's a 7, we have to reroll anyway. If it's a 17, we have to reroll because I did not get. Oh my gosh. Come on. Oh my gosh, all the rerolling. This is why we love the RNG. This is fishing. That's a 12. All right, we can do that. We can do that. Now I'm gonna quick 1, 2, 1, 2. So we have mail, we have logging, we can check trash, we have shopping, we have foraging, we have fishing, we have gifting. Thank goodness we have them all. So what I am going to do is I am going to reset the day because I did just flip through. I did just flip through all of the mail, so you didn't get a chance to see it. So I want to give y'all an opportunity to see what I just quickly flipped through. Now, here's the thing about this challenge. Not only can I do all of those things, I must do all of those things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to organize my inventory. And you may see that there's a problem in my inventory. So I can do logging, and I can do this. You'll notice the problem is I don't have space in my inventory. So one thing that I'm going to need to do before I go get that fishing pole is I need to make space in my inventory. So I'm going to have to go sell some stuff, which is fine by me. I'm trying to get an inventory upgrade anyway. So first, here's Willy. Willy will let us go fishing. So I'm glad that we got to check the mail. We can go see Willy. Now, we've got Robin. I know there's a lot of stone scattered around your farm. If you have a surplus, you might consider having me build a well for you. A well is like one of the most useless buildings I've ever seen in the game. Wells can be placed all over your farm and serve as convenient places to refill your watering can. I have never seen a setup of a farm that doesn't have ample just water everywhere. I just don't know why you would build a well. Maybe that's why she's advertising it, because nobody ever builds a well, and so she has to advertise it. And here's Pierre being like, I keep finding stuff, but my backpack's full. Does this sound like you? Well, I've got you covered. Get a bigger backpack. Yeah, Pierre, I know. I know my backpack's too small. You didn't have to rub it in. Yeah, he did. He's an advertiser. That's exactly what he does. And what's interesting is Robin does a lot of that as well, but for some reason I don't dislike Robin nearly as much as I dislike Pierre. I think it's because Robin has other things that she does as well, whereas Pierre is just only, please buy my stuff. I'm very excited that it's winter because people spend more money in the winter. Or around the Feast of the Winter Star, but then he whines because when it's cold, people go shopping. Like, I don't know. I think the dogged pursuit of capitalism, and the fact that his wife is really wishing that he would spend more time with his family. I don't know. It just I just like don't like him as much as I could, I suppose. All right. So we have our actions for today. And we're going to go through and do them. And I'm actually going to, if you give, pardon me for just a second, I'm just going through and I'm going to be marking things off as I do them to make sure that I do them all. So I'm just marking off that I have done some logging and I have checked the mail. Because remember, we not only get to do these things, we must do these things. And so it's going to be important that I keep track of what we have and have not done so that we don't mess up and have to rewind our day. And that's basically what you have to do, is if you figure out that you've messed up, if you figure it out during the day, you can restart the day. There is a way to rewind by one day by manipulating your save files in Steam. And so if I realize overnight that I've messed something up, and this is going to be particularly relevant to the shipping collection, so I'm not allowed to ship any item that's in the shipping collection until I am told to do so by the randomizer. So the randomizer deity must tell me to do that. And so if overnight I ship something and then realize that it was in the shipping collection, because I am not a pro Stardew Valley gamer and therefore do not have every single item in the shipping collection memorized, I am not joking you when I say it seems like the folks that I've been watching have all of those things memorized, that Salments and Wickedy and Argon Matrix, that they just have them memorized, and I don't know how. But power to them, right? That's amazing for them. I don't know how. And so I'm going to sell those. And since I don't have that memorized, I'm going to have to check when I ship something new. I think is not in there. I have to double check and make sure that it's actually not. And now I can mark off that I've done some shopping and trading. I'm still going to do some more. I have more that I want to do, so I have more stuff I want to sell. Buy sap? I'm almost certain you will buy a stack of nearly worthless sap. You will. Excellent. It's just 700 more to go. So what I wanted to do in this video, where I'm going to turn our focus now as we go through, while we're, yeah, I don't care that you're mad at me, Lewis. We can't have hearts with them anyway, so it doesn't matter that they get mad at me for going through the trash. While we're going through the day-to-day things that might not necessarily be quality streaming if you were just staring at me doing them. And, I mean, it is quality streaming if we're having good conversation. But while we're doing these sorts of day-to-day wandering around things, I want to be talking about flow and how it applies to Stardew Valley. And as I've mentioned in my previous videos, if you've heard discussion of flow, you've probably heard it in relation to more intense games, getting in a flow state while playing Call of Duty, or the one that I hear it talked about all the time is Celeste, or really any other combat roguelike or bullet hell type game where you have to get in the zone, right? That's another way that you can refer to it, as kind of getting in that zone. And you don't really hear it talked about as much when you're playing a game that's considered more of a chill, laid-back game like Stardew Valley. And so what I've been doing in this past series of videos is going through and discussing the elements of flow, and as we see them, not just in Stardew Valley, right? The focus is going to be on vanilla Stardew Valley, or Stardew Valley as it was developed. For those of you who don't know, it was developed by a single person, by Concerned Ape. Concerned Ape has released multiple major updates for free. It's not DLC, it is just, here's a really cool update. First, let's talk to Willie, though. You gotta see this man, he's like Popeye over here with his pipe. Ahoy there, miss! Heard there was a newcomer in town. Good to finally meet you. I'm so bad at voices, it's not even funny. I'm trying to unwind from a month out on the salty seas. It was a big haul. I sold a lot of good fish. Finally saved enough to buy me a new rod. Here you go. You can't use it. Here, I want you to have my old fishing rod. It's important to me that the art of fishing stays alive. And hey, maybe you'll buy something from the shop once in a while. Ahoy, Willie! He received a bamboo pole. Now, I don't actually know. Hold on, there's good water here in the valley. All kinds of fish. Oh yeah, my shop's back open now, so come by if you need supplies. I'll also buy anything that you have to sell. If it smells, it sells. That's what me old pappy used to say. Sorry, I went through that line a little bit fast. With the needing to sell supplies. Buy anything you have. So I don't actually know, by the by, how we're going to achieve catching a tiger trout without catching something else first, because I was of the impression, and clearly I'm wrong, so I'm going to have to do some research, but I have until we hit fall in-game to do it. I was of the impression that the first thing you caught was a sunfish. Like, that you didn't catch anything but if you're cooking in a or if you're fishing in a place that a sunfish could be caught, right? I was of the impression that that was the first thing that gets caught, and that's a separate goal. And so I'm gonna have to do some research to try to figure out how you even catch the trout first. Now, the randomizer has built into it prerequisites. So if the randomizer says, you'll notice I'm trying to drop more stuff. If the randomizer says that you can do it, well, then you can. Right? There's anything that has a prerequisite that you can't do A before you do B, right? Any of that is already built in. I'll come back for those things later. I'm doing what Wickedy calls florganizing. Trademark from her. Now, although I can't ship these items, and I just want to make sure I haven't messed something up here. So you'll notice that those are not here because I haven't shipped them. I can sell them directly to stores. Just making sure. And so that's going to be a big thing that we end up doing is sell directly to stores. Basically, we can't use, my gosh, his name, Lewis. Oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. We can't use Lewis to do our dirty work for us, but, oh gosh, dang, I don't have foraging today, do I? Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Whew. I was almost really mad at myself. I didn't have foraging yesterday. So yeah, so we can't use Lewis to do our dirty work for us, but we can sell directly to the stores in the meantime. I did look through the trash. Let's mark that. I did some foraging. I have to do fishing today. I think I needed to re-roll the fishing. I can't fish today. Wait, yes I can. I can fish by fishing somewhere where there's only trash. I think this is how it will work. I think if I come over here and fish someplace where only trash is, it's really hard to land in this, but you can. There we go. So I think, there we go. I fished up a stone, and that is not on the fishing, manifest. Did it give me fishing experience at all? I don't think it did. I don't have one of the mods that I was trying to have, that made it so that I couldn't use the program and have to figure out why it is I can't stream without mods. But one of the mods that I was trying to have would tell me when I get fishing experience so that I would know if that stone had just given me fishing experience. But there we go. So that's how I'm going to fish, and I'll have to mess around with that and see. And now I need to give a gift. Oh, no. I need to give a gift. Pierre, have my junk. Yep, it's me. I know it's not your favorite. That's why I'm giving it to you. Have some stuff. All right, and now let's sell. Sell. That's not going to be enough to get me what I want. All right. So yeah, nice. So now I've done all of the things to make sure I get them all done. And I'm going to go do the rest of the day foraging, I think. So everything there is doable, and it's just a matter of figuring out the challenge. And so if that gives me fishing experience, that might override the sunfish catch, maybe? I don't know. Gonna have to figure it out. The pros know this stuff, and I do not. So I'll figure it out. I'm gonna do some of that figuring and looking things up off stream, because otherwise I'd be staring at the wiki and finding pro things about game mechanics that I just don't know. But I can trust that if the randomizer spit that out, that it's something that is possible to be done. And that actually will come up again when we talk about other elements of flow, right? The idea that you are on the edge of your ability, but that you are capable of doing a thing. But first I want to talk about, but that's skipping ahead, right? Because we need to talk first about our second element of flow, and that is feedback. So we talked last time about how we need to have a clear goal. One of the things that helps to produce a flow state is engaging in an action that has a clear goal. And so you know what it is you're doing and why, when it is you're doing it. And one of the things that comes along with that clear goal and is an element of flow that goes above and beyond that is getting back towards that goal. And so I think that's one of the things as well that sometimes vanilla Stardew Valley, right? Stardew Valley without any mods, people have complained about, right? Is that you don't know what the goal is, right? There's not a clear goal when you first play. There's just there are affordances, But it's kind of like Minecraft, where it's not telling you what to do. It's telling you things you can do. But it's not necessarily saying, this is what you do. This is how you Stardew. Because there isn't one proper way to do things. There isn't one way to Stardew. These spring onions are going to come in clutch when it comes to energy. And so I think people maybe don't necessarily get into the flow state as easily when playing Stardew, just sort of vanilla Stardew, because it's not telling them just one way to do it. We're probably going to lose these if we go to sleep anytime soon. But then as well, even if you set a goal for yourself, you don't necessarily have instant feedback towards how well or what you're doing and how close you're getting to achieving that goal. So for example, I mentioned that one of the mods that I was trying to install, that I wanted to have while playing and while doing these challenges, was a mod that tells me whether or not and how much fishing experience I just gained. And one of the things that mod does for us, one of the reasons that mod is so popular, it's one of the most popular mods on Nexus Mods, on a website associated with mods for many different games, but where I go to get the mods that I've been using. Well, I think one of the reasons that it's one of the most popular mods is that it allows you to get that instant feedback. And that instant feedback is something that we seek out. And I think that's something that we don't get in regular Stardew Valley. Now, first, before we go into how we get that in these two challenges, let's see how the spirits feel about us today. The spirits have been giving us... I think what the spirits have done, the spirits have gone through every one of the possible states of the spirits. They have had mood swings like crazy these first 5 days. And I think they're just trying to give us examples for the Roll for Initiative challenge, right? Because we've had a neutral day, we had a pyramids day, we had a bats luck day, we had a star drop day, and now we have skulls luck. So what is a skulls luck day? What are those skulls, and why don't we like them? Well, it turns out that on a skulls luck day, we roll 2d6, and we roll them with disadvantage. So we roll 2d6, and we take... Hey! Come on now. Be bigger so that people can see you. There you go. We roll 2d6, and we take the lower of the two. And because it is skulls luck, the worst possible luck, if we roll... We subtract 1, right? So we've got a -1 modifier. And if we roll a 1, and therefore have 0, you go straight to bed. You don't even get to do free actions on a day where you end up with 0. You just go straight to bed. So let's give that a try. So we got to switch to our d6. And we need to roll 2 of them. And let's see what we've got. And just to demonstrate, we are going to go right back to bed. We do nothing today. That's it. We've got a 1. And that's what happens on a Skulls Luck day. And that is the Roll for Initiative challenge in a nutshell. So let's try this again. Dear spirits, do you like me better? I love it. The first 5 days, they went through all 5 states, and then the 6th day, they're like, yeah, okay, fine. We're neutral. We'll leave you alone. You are left to your own devices at this point. I just love it. That was great. Alright, so remember, neutral, we roll 1d6. And what we get is what we get. And we get 6. Alright, so now, let's roll 6d20 and re-roll a million times until we get 6 actions that we can actually complete. Yeah, my character went into a 1-day depression. They were just like, I had to talk to Pierre far too much. Maybe they were just sick of all those rerolls. Right? They just got tired of having to do things over and over again. Alright. Alright, so what do we got going on here? We've got a 19. I can see that one pretty easily. We've got a 5. We've got a couple of 5s. But we can only do 5 if we also get 2, which we don't have. We can do 8. More shopping. We're doing a lot of shopping. 13, which is shipping. We can still do that. 18. We've got our first 18, I think. Am I reading that right? Does that look like an 18 to you? And then I think with the rest we have to reroll. So we've got an 8. If I'm reading this, we've got an 18, which we can do. A 19, which we can do. A 13, which we can do. An 8, which we can do. But then we have 2 5s, and we cannot do 5. And so that was actually a pretty good set of early rolls. Because we only had to reroll 2 now. And now we have... Is that a 2? That's a 2! Excellent! Now we have a 2. Oh, man. We really needed that 2. And a 17, but we can't do the 17. So we do have to reroll one of these die. But we got a 2. We finally got a 2. We needed that. What is that? I can't tell. I think that's a 17. I'm going to say that's a 17, but if you disagree, tell me no, that's not a 17 in the chat, and I'll go with your approach. But otherwise, I'm going to assume that that was a 17. And what do we get here? We already have an 8. Okay, why? Why do they have to be so hard for me to tell? Why do you have to do this to me? Can we zoom in? No. Papa Bear. Is that an 8 or a 10?
8.
It's an 8? Okay, then we have to reroll. Okay, I'm going with 10 this time. It's just... The last time it was 8, this time it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6 actions here right now that we can do. Yeah, I know it does. That 8-10 split is awful. I think it has to do... I think I think maybe I need to get it to better randomize the throw. I'll look into that some other time though. That's gonna be a not right now approach because I do not want to break the stream again. All right. So let's finish up. We're gonna finish up this day. We're gonna do what we can do so we can do some tilling. We can... I think that's it in terms of tools. And then we can do shopping, shipping, upgrading, and gifting. Okay. And so here's the thing about upgrading. Whether you want to upgrade something or not, ship again, I know that that's a safe thing to ship. So I'm going to ship it. Whether you want to upgrade something or not, or want to build something or not, is irrelevant. You must, if you can, upgrade something. So what this can result in is a lot of very strange upgrades and a lot of very strange choices being made simply because you can and you must, and that sort of approach. So we're going to come... Did I just chop trees? Am I allowed to chop trees? I'm not. Let's try this again. Yes, yes, without the chopping. Wrong tool. All right, let's try this again with the appropriate tools. If I could just remember to not use the bad tools, we'd be good to go. All right. What I am going to do is I'm going to till as much ground as I have energy for. Till a bunch of it so that hopefully some of it remains tilled by the time I get planting again, so that I can actually plant some of these seeds at some point. All right. So yeah, so getting back to the idea of feedback towards the goal. Stardew, as it was released, just like you had said, the tank, you don't have a goal and you don't really have feedback as to whether or not, even if you self-set a goal, or even if you think of a goal like getting Grandpa to be happy with you, you don't necessarily know how you're progressing towards that goal. And these challenges help to solve that problem, right? So the perfection randomizer, your goal is perfection. Your goal is to reach perfection and to get to the late game stage where it actually tells you in game that you've met perfection. There is eventually something in game that will tell you you've hit perfection. This is not just a thing that I think of approach. This is actually something you can see in game, or not I think of, but that streamers think of. This is actually a thing that you can achieve in game. And so, all right, I'm going to run out of energy soon. So you can set that as a goal, and this gives you, and without this challenge, that can still be a goal, but you don't really have a complete idea as to how much progress you've made towards that goal. Whereas with the randomizer, you know exactly how much progress you've made towards that goal. Because it has an element in the randomizer itself. We can take a look here, and you can see that element in the randomizer. If I make it so you can see the randomizer, that gives you a percentage completion, right? How close are you to that goal? And gives you a general idea of what you've done and what you need to do. Yay, library book! And so I think that even though it's challenging, oh, I forgot this was going to happen. We'll be able to donate soon. Oh, hi there. What an eyesore. This is the Pelican Town Community Center. Or what's left of it, anyway. It used to be the pride and joy of the town, always bustling with activity. Now just look at it. It's shameful. These days, the young folk would rather sit in front of the TV or play video games than engage with the community. As I sit here, play Stardew Valley. But listen to me, I sound like an old fool. Joja Corporation has been hounding me to sell them the land so that they can turn it into a warehouse. Pelican Town could use the money, but there's something stopping me from selling it. I guess old-timers like me get attached to relics of the past. Ah, well. If anyone else buys a JojaCo membership, I'm just going to go ahead and sell it. Here, let's go inside. Do, 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 do. What's going on here? What's this? I guess Vincent and Jast must have been playing in here. You know, taking an interest in the town. Not on their video games. This place is even more dilapidated than I remember. Oh! There's our friend Jumino! Look, it's hiding! It's Junimo. It's waving to us and everything. It's like, hey-yo! I decide what perfection is! What's the matter? Are you ill? I'm seeing things. You saw something? I wouldn't be surprised if this place was full of rats. There it is again! You're worrying me, PsychTricks. Look, I think I'm going to head home. I need some lunch. I'm not even sure it's lunchtime, Lewis. Where I am, it's pretty late. It's only lunchtime if you advance yourself by 12 hours. Hey, I'll keep this place unlocked from now on. Maybe you can help catch that rat if you have some extra time. Strange. I'll have to come back and explore this building further. Now, I must remember to read the little thing. Reading that little thing in the community center. The going in and checking this out is, I believe, a free action, and I'm going to double check that before I do it. I want to make sure that that's a free action. Checking the TV is a free action. Placing items, using scythes, traveling, resting, having kids is a free action. It even says that. The comment from the peanut gallery was, no, it's not. And what's funny is that that's built into the roll for initiative instructions as well. But reading this is a free action so that we can then trigger everything else that goes along with it. Once we have this open, donating will be part of what we can do, because we right now haven't had anything to donate, and so we couldn't do donating. Once that's open, we will have the donating available to us if we have items to donate. So that'll be nice. And so now I'm going to come in here, and again, what I'm trying to do is to sell enough stuff. I don't want to sell my spring onions. Those are my only source of energy right now, though. I'm trying to sell enough stuff that I can... Let's go sell to Robin and see what we're going to build. That I can buy that backpack upgrade. But I have to upgrade or build something, and I don't have anything to give to Kent to upgrade or build, and won't for a while, because in order to give something to Kent, I need to have bars, and I can't smelt copper bars. And so that's going to be a little bit tricky. There are some creatures, enemies, that can drop bars that we're going to have to hunt, essentially. And so let's sell these. I need 200 more. Okay, I could sell a good chunk of stone or wood, but let's see what we're going to construct, because I certainly don't have enough for a house upgrade. So let's see what we're going to build. I do not have a lot of money. I'm going to end up having to build a second shipping bin. Or I can build another cabin. The cool thing about building another cabin is that I can use another cabin as a storage area for, basically as a poor man's shed. The downside is there's going to be a thing of parsnips in there that is a pain in the butt. So I actually think the first thing I'm going to do is build another shipping bin. It's cheap. It only takes a little bit of wood. It won't take away from... Oh, but the cabins are even cheaper. I'm going to build another cabin. And I actually have a reason for this as well. I'm going to build it down here by the entrance to the forest. I'm going to do that so that I have a place to pass out, to sort of run in and fall asleep, just in case I'm running behind. And so there's a prefabricated cabin. It's down there. Isn't it neat? Yes, it is neat. Thank you very much. So now I've spent what I have to spend, and I'm going to try to earn enough money that I can buy that backpack. Because I have a day that I have foraging, and that I have... Oh, it's open as well. This is open as well, but I haven't gotten the letter. Am I allowed to go in there? I know getting the galaxy sword is considered a quest. I don't... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if cutscenes are free access. So no, wait. I can't have that sword. I don't have the inventory space. Indeed. Indeed. I was just peering down into this old mine shaft. It's been abandoned for decades. Still, there's probably good ore down there. But a dark place, undisturbed for so long, I'm afraid ore isn't the only thing you'll find. Hi, Marlin. How you doing? Here, take this. You might need it. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. You do not have the inventory space. I wonder what happens when you don't have the inventory space for a rusty sword. There we go. Okay, so let's drop this for now. Don't worry, I'll come back for you. Name's Marlin, by the way. I skipped too fast. Keep my eye on you. Prove yourself, and I might think about making you a member. He's the leader of the Adventurers Guild. Oh no, I didn't just drop it. I completely lost it, I guess. Oh well. Alright, let's go sell some stuff. I've got a sword now. Now I really need to improve my inventory space. I should have thought that out more. That I didn't really want to put another thing in my inventory right now. I could have left that. If I were being better strategery, right? Being more strategic, I'd have left that bad boy. Alright. Now let's sell what I can sell here. Let's see what this gets us. That's not going to quite get us as far as we need to. Come on. Oh no. Alright, let me check as well. I've done some tilling. I've done some shopping. I've done some foraging. I've done some shipping. Oh, I need to give somebody a piece of stone. I'll give Pierre some stone. Anything good over here? See if I get lucky with pieces of clay. I did. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do something known as clay farming as a quick way to get just a good amount of money. This takes advantage of the fact that randomness isn't really random and that computers are incapable of perfect randomness and of knowing what the pattern is of where clay falls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the beach. This is one of the millions, not millions, but a huge number of exploits that you can find for Stardew Valley. I'm not going to be doing all of them. This is probably the only one that I'll allow myself to do. But there are ones of like you can use chairs to get into areas that you shouldn't have access to yet. You can use the sword to glitch out of the screen to get to areas you don't have access to yet. All I'm trying to do is get enough money that I'll be able to buy that backpack upgrade. And I just want to be able to do that so that I can close out the game without having to worry about items. While we're finishing that, let's talk about how the Roll for Initiative quest, right? Because we talked about how the feedback towards goal is present in the randomized perfection. But the roll for initiative challenge also gives some feedback towards the goal when you consider that your goal is to make the best of any given day that you're given. And you need to make sure that you use all of the tools that you are given and use all of the actions that you are given and kind of maximize your outcome. And although there is a complaint in terms of Stardew Valley in general when it comes to not having guidance and not necessarily look how clay are 30 or 20 each, so I just got 600 from that very little bit of clay. Although there's complaints, right, that there's not necessarily direction given, there are actually a good number of things in base Stardew Valley without adding challenges, without doing anything, just you bought Stardew Valley and you have it. There are things that give you direct feedback towards a goal. So, for example, that community center that we just unlocked, we'll know what sorts of goals we have and the sorts of the sorts of bundles that we're trying to complete, and that's going to give us feedback towards a goal. How many of those have you completed? How many of the prizes have you completed? Have you completed the community center? The same thing is going to be true of the museum. Oh, thank goodness for backpack space. The same thing is going to be true for the museum. It's going to be true for the floors in the mines and how far you've made it. It's true for Grandpa's evaluation. And spoiler alert, go ahead by like a minute. It's going to be true when it comes to the walnut room as well. And of course, perfection. Perfection is in and of itself a spoiler because it came in the 1.5 update. So these are all things that you can track progress towards and that give you feedback. Now, the feedback isn't as immediate as most flow states would be, right? Most flow states are looking for very immediate feedback. But the roll for initiative quest is, your feedback is, did I finish that today? Did I finish that item today? And I think that adding those quests, and I think one of the reasons why we crave those goals, we want the game somewhat to tell us what to do. I think some of the reason for that is that we like having feedback. We like knowing that we're doing well, that what we're doing is a good thing to be doing. And so I do think that adding these challenges adds that element to it, and that might be why there's some appeal to that. Oh, hi, still here. Hello. I hope you're doing well, the tank. I'm still here too, kind of talking to myself. So yeah, so I think that that's what we're seeing in the Roll for Initiative challenge. That's what I think we're seeing in any of the challenges, and why folks lean towards these challenges and towards challenges where they can get direct feedback. They have specific goals that they're setting for themselves for one reason or another, and that they can tell whether or not they have achieved. Oh, cool. I just gonna eat some more. So I just got some rice. Cool thing about rice shoots is if I can get those planted, and that's a big if, they will, and I keep them close to water, they will water themselves. So I'm going to till some land near water and hope that it is still tilled by the time I get allowed to plant, because that will let the rice shoots water themselves. Because one of the big things that's going to happen to us, because we can't always water, is sometimes we're not going to be able to water our plants, and we're going to end up wondering if our plants are just going to die. And so that's pretty much it in terms of what I can do in this day. I've double-checked. I'm just going to double-check. I've done tilling. I've done shopping. I've done foraging. I've done shipping. Did I do shipping? I can actually check that. I haven't. Don't want to cheat. Oh, and I need to go do gifting. I'm glad I'm double-checking this. I've done upgrading. I need to go gift to somebody. And while I'm going to do that, I'm also going to run down and grab the spring onions if there are any, because I don't think I've done that today. And those are an amazing early source of energy. And what I like is that they kind of stack together so they don't take up as much inventory space, which is at a premium right now. But I think in terms of what I wanted to talk about with flow, that we've talked about having clear goals and why that is important, and how having these sorts of challenges gives us those clear goals, and also how important to us, especially to experiencing a flow state, but to people in general, to have feedback. Ideally, more immediate feedback, or as immediate feedback as is possible. But in a game like Stardew Valley, that feedback is somewhat delayed. And having that feedback as to how well we are progressing towards that goal is important to just people in general, and also to the experience of a flow state. And Stardew Valley does give some of that feedback, again, in terms of the community center bundles, in terms of the museum, etc. But adding these challenges gives an additional element of feedback, of having that. I think people would like the perfection tracker regardless, but having that percentage towards perfection is a good touch. It gives that feedback. It gives it in a way that it's easier to understand than just you have done one of 481 things, right? It gives you a percentage, and it's much easier for us to wrap our heads around that. And so I think that we migrate towards those sorts of things, or gravitate, I guess is the better word, towards those sorts of things, because they allow us to achieve these desirable states. So that's where we're going to end it. I'm going to put my bum to sleep, and we are going to end our day and end our stream here. Thank you all very much for joining me. I'm going to finish up now, and our next video will be talking about our third element of flow, and that will be the idea of challenge. And that'll probably be a little bit longer of a video, as it goes into a little bit more depth. And as we go on, we get more detailed elements of flow. So thank you all very much. If you are enjoying this video series, please feel free to like, subscribe, do all of the things that YouTubers are supposed to ask y'all to do. But also, please go check out Wickedy's channel, and to check out Argon Matrix and Cellments. They will be linked below. Even if you don't like and subscribe to my videos, you should absolutely go to their channels, subscribe, take a look at all of their videos on demand, or try to catch them on live. Join their active Discord communities. They are both really amazing. I was talking between streams about that. Both really great communities, but also just great people engaging in the streams and engaging with their viewers. So I highly recommend going and giving them a look, and giving them a like and subscribe as well, even if you don't with mine, because they are awesome. So I will see you all on the next side. Take care.